ready?
Yeah.
Okay. What's up, guys? This is us, Faith Over Fear, not the brand, the lifestyle, bringing you the ways and tools to create a life to thrive. From turning your trauma into your triumph by using the mindset of faith over fear. And if you're watching us on YouTube, I am cheating using notes because we changed our intro and
it was different.
Trying to get it down. All right. Today, we are talking about personal excellence, personal accountability, and holding yourself to a higher standard. That is something that the both of us have done individually as well as a couple. And I feel this could be a really long topic, but we're going to try to condense it. And
we have to because we have a barrel race to get to.
We do.
So
yeah.
We got 30
Today's
minutes.
race day. We've literally been out in the yard all day long.
Yeah.
Backfilling, training horses. Because
prepping horses, training horses.
That's how we're keeping ourselves accountable, because we have this thing, that we're working on, and Scarlett and Samantha are really, really being serious about their barrel racing. So they're holding themselves accountable. And if you don't practice, if you don't train, if you don't do the things necessary to get ahead in your sport or your business or your life, then you'll stay stagnant.
Yeah.
And progressively, the both of them have gotten better and better with, each of them week over week increasing in the rankings. And Samantha took first place in 3D last week and Scarlett the week before. And they started in the 4D. For those of you who know barrel racing, you'll understand that. If you don't, then at some point we'll explain it to you, but not right now.
Message us.
Because right now we're talking about accountability. So to start, when we first got together, I was really, really starting to reel my shit together. I was reeling my stuff in. I was really focusing on, so there's, what do you call it? A saying or a mantra, you can't fill someone's cup unless your cup is full. And to fill your cup, you have to be accountable to yourself. You can't go out and you can't spread all these things. You can't give to people if you're not giving to yourself, because you'll never be 100%. So when I went fishing in 2016, I was gone for about 3 months, and I had a lot of time to reflect on myself and realized that I wasn't doing things I wanted to do. At the time, I was married to someone else, and it was not working. But I wanted it to work. I really did. When I came home, I was gone from May to July. And when I came home, and I was like, hey, let's make this work. And I really dialed in. I was either at home, I was at work, or I was training. Because at the time I was doing MMA. And that's all I did. I didn't go out as much anymore. I tried not to pick fights. I tried not to engage in fights when they came. I really tried to dial in and really do my part by providing. Because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be what I am now. And that's...
and this didn't have to do with her or the relationship or anything. It was who Corey is and was, like, in your soul.
Yeah.
And that's what he was trying to obtain, was something that was his passion, and that was having a family and a good life. So he was trying to do that in the situation, the marriage he was in.
Because I didn't, we were oil and water, we were gasoline and a match for sure. But I wanted to fix it because I contributed as well to a lot of why we weren't working anymore. So I wanted to do my part and try to fix it. So that's what I did. And it didn't work. We were just too different. And
you can't beat a dead horse.
You can't. And, once there's, 12 years of really a lot of trauma, not like physical stuff, but just mental, you don't ever really let things go. And she never let anything go.
And what people don't realize, I was talking to a friend of mine, the trauma that people inflict on each other through hurt feelings is way more traumatic and abusive than like physical abuse.
Yeah. So there's a little story that I was told once, and I think it was actually while I was fishing, and this is why I came home the way I did, is there wasn't any internet in Igigak except for at the library.
Yeah, because where he was in Alaska, he didn't stumble over his words. Yeah. He told that in a podcast before.
Igigak.
Igigak? What?
So I went and I stumbled across this video where this dude is talking to his son, and he says that he got into a verbal altercation with his sister or somebody in his family. So the dad, for punishment, made the son go out and nail one nail in every board because they had a wood fence. So he had to put a nail in every board all around the yard. And he came in and said, "Dad, I'm done." And he said, "All right. I want you to go take every single one of those nails out." So I was like, what the fuck? So he went and he took every single one of those nails out. And then he came in the house, said, "Dad, I'm done." So Dad went out there and said, "See, every one of those nails was something mean to someone. And even though you removed the nail, that's apologizing, the hole is still there. So the moral of the story is, don't be a dick." Right? And I was like, wow, that makes a lot of fucking sense. So from that moment, I was like, if there's any kind of altercation, I'm going to do my best by not saying anything I may regret later. That way I don't contribute to any future trauma. So, like I said, we just didn't work, right? But that didn't stop me from wanting to be that person and hold myself accountable. And from that point, this is only 6 years ago, right when we started, like towards the end and all that transition stuff, is when I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. And that's what I did. And from there, I had a goal, right? As soon as I met Samantha and we started dating, my goal was I wanted to be a director of marketing because that's what I went to school for. I wanted to be a director of marketing. And I started going about my day as if I was already a director of marketing.
Dress the part before you get the part.
So 2017, I got a public relations job for that one furniture company that he owned a bunch of different businesses, and that really got me focused and driven to do those things. And again, I just kept my nose to the grindstone because I was holding myself accountable. I was doing what I could to be a good man, doing what I could to be a good father, doing what I could to be a good partner, and also now a stepfather, and doing all those things. And no one was making me do those things.
You're not a stepfather, but you are a father, not a stepfather. Oh. What do they say?
Well,
I'm not a stepfather. I'm the man that stepped up.
Yeah. Well, I kind of meant just for context purposes, right? Like, because this is a new. Like,
I just had to add to it.
I was already Bianca's father, and now I'm dealing with this firecracker, little 9-year-old blonde kid who.
Remember when she made you?
Literally is just pressing all the buttons all at the same time.
She had you make a peanut butter jelly sandwich and cut it into sushi roll.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I wasn't home at that point. I was gone, and that was the first time I left him alone with her, and he's like, she had me make
and I did it, 'cause that's what she wanted. But
so funny.
And that's, aside from trying to, raise them right, not raise them, rear them, I guess, because you raise cattle, not kids, to show them the way of life, right?
I feel like we raise kids. Rearing sounds so bad.
I know it does, but there's a old adage that says you don't raise kids, you rear them, you raise cattle. But anyway, but I was doing all those things not because I had to. I was doing them because I wanted to, and that was the point.
Yeah.
And that's the point of all this.
You scared me.
Is personal accountability, and me wanting to make myself better every single day, not sometimes, not on the weekdays, not on just the weekends, every single day, day in and day out. It got us, well, of course, with you doing the same thing and reciprocating, it got us to where we are now, to where in the middle of the beginning of or I guess we bought this house in the middle, in 2020, all that fucking chaos, everyone lost their job and everyone's trying to figure out what to do. And we're moving to Utah on a 2-acre lot and building a ranch. And
on that is, and we'll have this topic on another podcast, but how to thrive when everything else is crashing and people are giving up and thinking it's over. That's when you start. That's when you start your business. That's when you start your new ideas. That's when you get creative and you get to start, especially now. There's so many opportunities, and we'll talk about that on a different podcast. But that's our mindset. We weren't like, oh shit. We were like, well, okay, everyone else can go to sleep, but how do we wake up even more? And then how do we help those people that are sleeping wake up to their, not to our beliefs or our powers, to their own powers, to their own gifts? Because motivation, what you and I have been talking about a lot, is it is a dying breed. There's nothing, a few years ago it was all about get motivated,
motivational speakers and all that
motivation,
good stuff.
this and that. And I'm watching these jazzercise instructors in the 80s like hopping around being all, yeah, get fit, get motivated. And it's like motivation lasts for like maybe a week, but by day 6 or 7 you're definitely like, this sucks.
Yeah, especially if you're like if you're doing something new, if like you're going into a new routine, or I hate this word, where you're going on a diet. What I like to say is you're changing your diet, like you're
lifestyle. You're changing your
you're
lifestyle.
changing your lifestyle. And it's not a diet, it is a lifestyle. And that's part of your personal excellence or personal accountability. Is like some of the most more people die every single day for preventable diseases.
Yeah.
And not just preventable diseases, preventable circumstances that lead to these diseases.
So and motivation isn't even going to fix that. No. You can't be motivated. You can't have a disease that's going to kill you and be motivated enough. Oddly enough, it is not it's not the ticket. What you need is discipline, a commitment, and consistency. And you commit to yourself. And that's what makes the change and starts to really truly create the shift, is not bullshitting yourself. Like, okay, I'm not going to be perfect every day. You can come out the running gate going 100 miles an hour and you'll crash and burn. But if you come out, going 25 and getting used to it, and then sometimes you kind of skid out a little bit, and then you correct yourself and you keep that consistency going. And that's what you got to find who your best self is, and then step into a mode of discipline and not torture. That's the other thing. It's got to be something you love. If it's a new lifestyle, let's use food, because okay,
they're not done yet, bud.
Just look at them, but don't open them. If it's food and you love pizza so much, and you go on a diet of eating salad and ice cubes, you're going to eat so much pizza at the end of that week. You'll gain weight from that one day. It's virtually impossible, but you will, because you'll eat that much pizza. But if you were to, let's say you eat a pizza a day, and then you're like, I'm going to commit to a new lifestyle. I'm going to cut that pizza in half. I'm only going to eat half a pizza a day. By the end of this month, I'm only going to have a piece or two every single day. You'll lose weight, you'll gain progress, and you're still eating your fucking pizza.
Yeah.
Like, you still get what you want. But then you start to notice how good you're feeling, so you start to cut the pizza out daily, and then it becomes something where when I want it, I will have it in moderation and not horking down way too much. And then you find, healthier ways to have pizza more often, and you still splurge and have, a real legit full shebang. But everything in life, workouts, same thing. Find a workout that you love to do, a way to work out. And then you don't blast it out, going 5-6 days a week. If you're not a CrossFitter and you start doing CrossFit, you'll be dead by the end of the week.
Yeah, you're going to fucking hate it.
Yeah.
For sure.
I had a friend that was doing Orange Theory, and she's not really an aggressive type of person, and it was too much for her, and she hated it, but she was going because she was trying to lose weight and get fit and be healthy and all the things, that we're all striving to do, but she hated it and she was not in alignment. So I was like, she loves walks. She loves yoga. So find what you love to do and do it. like freaking do it, but don't go overboard. Find the balance, keep the discipline, the structure, the commitment, and you can get out of any situation that you don't, whether it's work, your weight, your health, your mindset, and you want to create something, you can get out of the bullshit and get into the good shit.
Agreed. Yeah. And like with the whole, like there's, I mean, we could even dive into the workout and the work stuff a little bit too. Like workouts are the easiest thing to fix. The most boring workouts are the most beneficial to people who don't like to do workouts. Like your push-ups,
for strength.
Yeah. Bench press, deadlift, and back squat. If you learn to do those 3 workouts, those will get you anywhere that you want to go. And if you don't have to go out there and try to 1 rep max every single time. But if you just rotate those in and do those consistently, and then you start adding supplemental work to all of those things. And as far as work, fuck man, if you hate your job, you are so doing a disservice to yourself. I understand. There is so much to be responsible for. And, right now I'm reading, Ryan Meckler's book, Sovereignty. And it talks about this is being a slave to the system. And, it doesn't matter your responsibilities. When you are tied down to work and relationships and all the other stuff, when you're sacrificing yourself for those things, you will never be happy. I always wanted to be where I am now. I wanted to be a dad. I wanted to be a husband. Those are things that I wanted. And I worked in the system as one of those cogs for a very long time. And I thought, as long as I am a cog in the system and I do my part, I will succeed. And it wasn't until I went on that fishing trip there, I was like, I need to do this, not because this is what you're supposed to do, because I got myself into a lot of situations where, that ended up fucking me over by trying to do the right thing in that situation. Bianca's mom, my second marriage, I was like, oh, these are the things I have to do because this is what everyone's expectation of me is. Not me personally, but this, you go through life, you get a job, you get a wife, you get a family, you do this, do that, do that. And I was marching forward doing those things. And then while I was sitting there on a fishing boat for 3 months with, 3 disgusting men, and we're just there, I'm like, I'm finding myself. And I found that, what do I want? What do I want out of life? Like, I want these certain things. It'll stop in a second.
Alice,
our campground phone is ringing, and Alice likes to sing with it. So we're gonna enjoy this for a second.
And then the other dogs chime in.
Alice.
Okay, pup.
Okay.
Okay.
Alice. Alice.
You're okay. You're good. Okay.
That was our quartet, our canine quartet.
Oh, God. Give it up to Alice.
But by removing the I need to do these things and these are the things I want to do, it changed everything. And doors started opening and my career started progressing. And it got to the point where I was working for Tao and I was the lead digital marketing manager with huge opportunities. And even after I left, what was it, about 6 or 8 months ago, the director, they merged with another company, and now they're the largest hospitality company in the country. And he moved up, so he's like, the CMO called me and he's like, hey, are you still in Vegas? Can you come, fill this role for me? And I'm like, I don't even live there anymore. But I hadn't been in the business for a year and a half. And I got to the point right before I left that I hit my goal of being considered for a director of marketing role. And I was like, all right, now let me change gears and be a firefighter and start a ranch. But that's what we wanted. We came out here and we just fell in love with everything that we're able to do out here. And then even when we got out here, there was more and more and more an opportunity. And now I'm a captain at the fire department, and now we're barrel racing. And it's because we had a certain sense of personal accountability to where, not that we had to do these things. These are what we wanted to do. And we held ourselves to a higher standard each and every time we made the next step up. So every time we went to that next floor and took that elevator ride up to the next floor, it was like, all right, let's get here. Let's gather our shit. How do we get to the next level? Right? We write it down. We think about it. We talk about it. And then we get in the elevator, and then we let the universe take control. And then we end up on the next floor, day after day after day. It's not like it's not like a weekly planner thing. Like, we have an end goal. So I was listening to Andy Frisella the other day, and they were talking about, small goals, big goals. For the longest time, I thought in incremental stuff, right? Like, you don't eat the elephant in one bite. You take one bite at a time. But when I was applying that to the things I wanted to do, like my goals, I had an idea of what my end goal was, but I didn't have a clear picture. So I was building it one layer at a time. But since we've been together, it's, hey, here's this big shiny thing, because Samantha is way more intuitive like that than me, but she helps me put the vision up there. And then it's like, here is this big, great picture. Let's go get it.
And also something we compliment each other on is I can dream up the wildest, greatest, biggest dreams, and they do happen. But what Corey helps is the execution of things that I'm good at putting together a plan.
Yeah.
I'm good at, like, let's make this massive business deal. And my dad had this gift, and clearly that's what he was passing over to me. But the execution, I'm good at the daily stuff, like the commitment, the consistency, but I guess it's usually like computer things or slowing it down enough to allow it to unfold on the daily and not get frustrated. Because I'm like, let's fucking go. And you're like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean, we talked about this one in the before one too, where it was like you're the dreamer, and then I build the steps up to the dream.
Yeah.
And because I had that experience where I was building my dream one ladder rung at a time, whereas just throwing the ladder up there and figuring out the rungs. And that's kind of, we got to have a good mix now where, like, even the things we're doing now, it's like we have 10 different things going on in our lives right now where any one of them could be, I mean, they're all going to be life-changing. It's just dedicating the time to each one. And, like I was saying this morning, I was having that conversation with Scarlett about me being so we're working on a barrel racing team with Samantha and Scarlett, and maybe bringing some others on. And I nominated myself for the barrel racing team manager. And I told Scarlett that, and she's like, okay. And I was like, yeah, well, I have the best time management, because you and your mom are like the same person. She's like, no, I'm always on time. I said, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't even explain to her how wrong she was.
She tried to put it all on me.
Yeah, she did.
It's my mom. I mean, sure.
I said, dude. And she didn't even argue, because it's 10 minutes past the time we need to go, and she hasn't even loaded up the horses yet.
And I'll delegate to her, like, do this. This is what we need to be needs to be done, and we need to be out the door by this time. Then she'll walk into the house, take her boots off, and stare around, and I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, well, I was waiting for you to tell me.
Yeah. She's good. She's good at, taking, God, what is the word?
Oh gosh,
she has initiative.
Yeah,
sometimes.
She does. Every day she does.
She gets stuff done.
She does, and she takes her barrel stuff seriously, and her horse stuff. She's committed, and she does it, and she does it really well.
Until it's time to go.
Then
it's like.
And she's the one that'll freak out if we're 5 minutes late to being there 3 hours early.
Yeah. And it's like, bro, we could have been here 20 minutes ago if you put the fucking horses in the trailer.
What I said, but then it's my fault because I'm always running behind, but moms know. Other moms know because there's always something we need to do.
I know. And I told her.
We have to look pretty and do our hair. I told her
the way to combat that is you have to be better at time management like me, where I have like right now, like it's, I don't know what time it is because I'm on the clock, but
it is 3:52.
Yeah. So I said we need to be done by 4. That way I can go out and I can get the trailer hooked up and I can get the horses loaded up by 4:15. That way by 4:30, when I'm sitting out front waiting to go, you will be like, I guess it's time to go.
Shit, I gotta go.
And then you'll come outside and jump in the truck and you'll, at that moment, when you're walking out, you'll remember all the shit you need to grab. Then you grab it and we're gone.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, that's how it works. And she goes, oh.
Oh no, she said, oh, and then she said, but I don't know
how to drive the truck. I don't know how to drive the truck with the trailer. And I said, wide turns, bud.
Wide turns. And let me tell you, one time my alarm didn't go off and I slept in, and it was the first night or morning we were taking Wish somewhere. Wish, who didn't always load epically, so we were trying to get it early, and I was completely asleep. Like I needed my rest. She comes in and wakes me up. She goes, I packed the truck up and hooked up the gooseneck all by myself. And I was like, what? Like you backed up a big F-250 to a gooseneck trailer and hooked up everything all by yourself, lined it up, lowered it down. So yeah, sweetheart, you could pull a trailer.
Yeah. I'll make sure I tag her in this too. But I mean, but those are things, right? Like she took the personal accountability to make that happen. It's I mean, she's a child, right? She's still under 15 years old, so she still has a immense time to grow and learn her time management skills. But giving her these responsibilities is our job as parents, to give them the responsibility to learn that time management, because that's part of our personal accountability is teaching other people like our kids how to be personally accountable.
Yeah, and everyone is teachable. That's the other thing. I was talking to her. Were you going to say something? Or?
I was going to say that's more than that. There's more value in teaching your kids personal accountability, time management. There's more value in that than sticking them in a fucking classroom.
Oh yeah.
And trying to teach them calculus, which I love math, but you're never going to fucking need it unless you're going to teach calculus. But what you're going to need is personal accountability,
yeah,
and like time management,
life skills.
Those 2 skills will help you learn any fucking skill if you have those 2 basic skills.
Right. Well, Scarlett already is literally running businesses on her own.
She has what they call business acumen. Like that word?
I do. Hey.
So she understands, commerce, right? She understands that. She understands customer service. She does all these things. And I would put my 14-year-old up against anybody else's 14-year-old that gets straight A's in school in a real world situation. All day long, I'm taking Scarlett.
She'll run most adults into the ground. She is flawless with her delivery. She's incredible with her customer service. She knows how to handle them. She knows how to deal with it. She knows how to deal with the money. It's unbelievable. But my dad was a huge role in that, because he just was like, here. And he did that with me as well. When I was a kid, it was like, you got it. That's how he taught me how to drive. He was like, he put me in a VW Volkswagen. Yeah. Was like, go. I was like, up a hill with a stick shift.
Across the freeway, right? Across the state.
We went he had me pick up some birds 45 minutes down into San Diego. But I did great. And I have so much confidence driving, and Scarlett has so much confidence as a businesswoman, and she's successful. She makes great money. She told me today, by the way, she's going to save up. She loves her barrel horse Bala, but it's good to have 2. Just in case you need a backup or one runs a certain pattern size better. And so she told me today she's going to save up her own money to buy her own. And they are pricey. I mean, like, you could buy a car or you could buy a barrel horse. Yeah. They are not,
Well, she already has a car.
She does. She already has a car. So fuck it. She's going to get herself a barrel horse. And
her car costs more than my first 3 cars put together.
Yeah.
Fucking brat.
Hey, she earns it. She does. And she takes such a good care of it already. She can't even drive it legally. And she takes such good care of it. But, and that's the other thing too. Like, give yourself, if this 14-year-old can kick ass like that, yeah, we're giving her the benefit of the doubt and the tools, but you can get the tools yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You can get them, like, fuck, ask us. Ask anybody. Google that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I learned... Well, my dad introduced me to a lot of spiritual stuff. He was like my guru to a degree, but he could only go so far. The rest of it, man, I went on Google and I'm looking at a wall of books. We have books and I've read every single one of them. You can teach yourself anything. The information and the education is out there to literally, like, you could learn brain surgery online. I wouldn't recommend it.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't practice.
Please don't do that.
I wouldn't let you operate on my head if you only learn if you have a YouTube certification.
I Googled that shit though.
But it's great. It gives you a fundamental understanding of things and like
you could watch Grey's Anatomy and know what's going on.
Yeah, fuck Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, fuck Grey's Anatomy for sure. They're so stupid. We had to stop watching them. But
I mean, even when we enjoyed the show, you're looking at it as an EMS provider and you married to an EMS provider. It's like, that's not how it works. But okay, we'll watch it because it's fucking cool.
Corey's like, that's not how it would work.
Not even a little bit. And now
they'd actually do this and that.
And now I watch. I'll send you some clips. It's Fire Department Chronicles. This guy green screens himself into. Matter of fact, one of them was what's the spinoff show? Station 13.
Yeah.
When they're the fucking gas pumps are leaking gasoline, and the shutoff valves on the other side of the fucking gas station. Which all they had to do was go around the puddle, like walk around the puddle and hit the emergency switch. But no. That's not what they did. So they're in this situation. None of them were wearing hazmat suits because a gas station on fire is in a hazmat situation. And then they put foam on it, and then you can't break up the foam. Otherwise, the spots that you break the foam up or catch on fire. But they didn't have to because they had a ladder, and they could have just brought the ladder down across the foam pit and just. But anyway, it's fucking hilarious. I don't even know how we got here, but
I don't know, and I don't even really know what the story was. But
anyway,
okay,
but yes,
so back on track.
Brain surgery on YouTube. That's how we got here. So
you
can learn any skill,
and ask people. Fuck, I am so over egos. Can I just
for time management?
But yeah, or you could just not be stupid. But
true.
Like take a fucking course for time management. That hurts my feelings. Who the fuck needs to do that?
I mean, that's it's the same people who made the course for time management. The people who take that course are also the ones that they made the McDonald's cups for. The caution, this is hot.
Yeah. When you see, that makes sense. Fuck, dude. You know what? If you're bad at time management, say you have to be somewhere 30 minutes early, and then you'll just show the fuck up early. God.
True story.
Anywho, there you go, guys. Saved you all that money on your course.
I'll give it to you for free 99.
Free 99.
Set fucking alarms.
Yeah. Hey, no shit. That does
it's
work.
Serious. If you set multiple alarms a day, give yourself X amount of time to do certain tasks.
Be done, like, because it's hot as shit right now. It's just about to get hotter. I want to be done with the horses, everything, training horses and workouts, riding 3 horses and workouts, and then training Aiden by 9. Yeah.
Fuck.
9 a.m.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so I'm going to be waking up at 4.
9.
And I also have my morning coffee with my dad every morning, and we sit. I mean, he's passed, but I still sit and talk to him, and he's still here with me. So I have to have, that's like so key for my morning.
That's part of that personal accountability thing, but you also have to give your mind a break, right? So you have to set that time aside. And
it gives me time to start my day.
And this is a huge win for me because in the earlier years, trying to get Samantha on a schedule has been daunting. And her favorite word, it's been daunting.
Well, in Vegas, all I wanted was my horses back in my life. And I didn't I had them at the campground freaking 2 hours away. So I'd have to drive out there and stay out there for 3 days a week. And being away from my family that much and just training horses was hard. And then it got hot. And so I was like training them in the morning and hiding from the heat all day. Anyways, but when we came here, and that's a good point, even though you're making fun of me.
I'm not making fun. You
were giving me a hard time.
I'm not giving you a hard time. What is that? I'm giving you a fucking attaboy.
Shit?
No.
Oh, well, you're giving me an attaboy now, even though I'm a girl, but, and I do identify as a girl.
Compliment.
Compliment?
I'm giving you a compliment.
Oh, that's a weird compliment. Is it like the compliment I gave you yesterday where I told you I'd still love you if you were fat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Same kind of compliment.
Okay. Thanks for the compliment.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to make that point. Weird. I'll take flowers later.
Okay. I'll make sure I'll come home with flowers tomorrow.
Thank you. So, a foot massage would be even better.
That's not. I don't know why I did. I love your feet.
I know you did. Dirty licked me. They're cute.
Yeah, they are. You're my favorite feet.
Thank you, Grammy. I got them from Grammy.
And I don't like feet.
Well, thank you for liking mine.
Yeah.
He massaged my feet every day of my pregnancy.
Every single night.
Then forgot about him.
I did not.
You give such a good foot massage. Okay. Anyways,
Back on track. Time
really
management.
Quick. Speaking of, we got to wrap it up. It's 4:03. When I was in Vegas, my passion in life is horses, barrel racing. Like, gosh, the ability to share that with my kid is like beyond my dreams.
It's also cool as fuck.
Holy crap! What, barrel racing?
No, the fact that you guys share that passion, you get to do it together. Like I just hit my buddy up, Walker and Brody. Walker,
yeah.
They were at this camp, and he was holding pads. I'll show you the video later. He was holding pads for him, and I remember the first time watching that kid on pads, and he was so young. I don't know how old he is. He was probably about 9 or 10 the first time he was on pads, and he's just a little kid with big gloves on. They're throwing every time he throws a punch, it's pulling him because it's a heavy glove. But his kid looks sharp as fuck, and I told him, I was like, dude, I think that's great that you guys are doing that together, and I think that you and Scarlett is very much the same thing, where you guys get to experience this thing together, and it's fucking rad.
And and that's a part. I feel like when we have those destinies, it's not a fluke. It's not like, oh, I just got lucky. Everyone has cool shit like that. And Scarlett was born like my bestie. We've always done everything. I'm a mom first. I'm not one of those, oh, I'm your friend. But in regards to the horses and life, like, we are friends, and we do things as a team. And so when we were in Vegas, I didn't have my what I was passionate about. And I didn't have the drive and the discipline to do what. So I did everything I could. And then I was grumpy a lot of the times because, not like with Corey, but just within myself, because I wasn't fulfilling things. And that's how people feel that are in these jobs that they don't love, in relationships they don't love. I personally was in a situation that I didn't love in regards to, I don't know. I loved our home, and I didn't mind Vegas. It just wasn't in alignment with.
It didn't fit us.
No, it wasn't.
Because we're thriving, doing all the things that we're doing out here, and it was like putting us in a box, in a small box, huge metropolitan area with all this excitement. Just a couple blocks down the road for being the Strip,
a whole bunch of partying and everything I hated to do.
There was nothing there for us.
We went out on the Strip one day. It was a day club thing. We went out. We had a shot of tequila, and we were like, "You want to go home?" Yeah, hell yeah, I want to go home. But when we moved out here, it was like it just aligned with all these passions. And now, doors keep opening. We have to organize and get be accountable with your time and time management. And it's at the very beginning right now, but I know I've got to wake up at 4:30 in the morning and have everything done properly every day to create the proper foundation for all these things. Like, literally, we've got like 10 different things going on, and they're all super fun. And none of them, they all serve a purpose.
Yeah.
It's not stretching us too thin. It's 10 different things that all have common goals.
Yeah.
One common goal.
And they're all similar in nature, where they all reflect something that we have done in the past, we want to do in the future, or we are currently doing. And it's just, they all mesh to where they're not, we're not kiboshing one thing for another, and, we're not robbing Peter to pay Paul. These are all things that have a
commonality.
Yeah.
Like all of it. And also
synergy, if you will.
A synergy. I like that. That's great.
2010 corporate fucking slogans. Synergy.
Oh, that's a good word. It's a
good word, yeah.
It is a good word, and it talks in alignment with
but that's fine. It fits in this
But we got here, back to the beginning, tying it all in. We got here through wanting more, the best for ourselves. Not wanting more. Wanting the ultimate best for ourselves, for our kids, and everyone around us. You said something about when you're at a dead-end job or job you don't love, you're doing yourself a disservice. What about everyone around you, too?
Yeah.
Like, the greater we do, the more people probably hate us, and those that matter, we're able to affect. Just yesterday, we had somebody that means the world to us come up to us and thank us, and she got teary-eyed because we were in a position to be able to help her in a really cool way. And we want to do that for everybody, and that's it.
And that's another driver, is that you can't. So we're not doing this for money. The money is going to be a byproduct. We're doing this to change our lives as well as change lives around us. And that starts with that's the whole point of this podcast, and the whole point of Faith Over Fear is it's not a brand. It is a lifestyle. And part of that lifestyle is sharing a message, because we are sharing creatures. We are tribal creatures where we want to be around people who win, and we want to, because winning is contagious. It is. Losing is contagious too. If you find yourself in a group of losers, you will lose. If you find yourself in a group of winners, you will win. You are a product of the 5 people that you hang around the most. And if you hang around with losers, you will be a loser. If you hang around with winners, you will be a winner.
And also on that note, if you don't have any money, if you're, on the poor scale, that doesn't mean you can't interact, live, and be as though you are a millionaire. Like,
it's all a mindset.
Fuck yeah. And we pulled ourselves into, not even out of a hole, because I don't ever feel like we didn't have a lot of money, but we were never really in a hole. We fucking lived happy, even when we literally had like no money. But this is something I was telling someone the other day as well. If you are doing great things and you're happy, the money will follow. You don't see people doing great things and they're broke. Who the fuck is broke that's doing great things and loving what they do? The money follows. It always comes. The opportunity, open doors.
If you add value to someone's life, including your own, which you should do that first, money will be a byproduct.
Yeah.
It's just the world that we live in. If you give somebody something, some kind of value, you will be compensated for it. It wasn't money in the beginning for us. No. It was the campground, right?
Yeah, it was doing something fun with my dad. We were like, that would be fun. Let's just provide. The main thing my dad and I always talked about was how awesome would it be to provide others with a getaway. And my dad would talk about how it made him feel to have other countries say, I had such a great memory I created at Happy Trails Campground.
And that's what it was about. It was about providing an experience for somebody else, giving value to them, giving them a reason to come out to the desert. And then from there, it grew. And then we kept adding value. And it was, we help so many, we provide a service and a value for people at the campground. And we're spreading that into what we're doing here with this Faith Over Fear platform. And it's just going to continue to grow and grow and grow. And we're going to continue to do this to share it and be a part of our story and
Bodhi, they're not ready yet. Sorry, he's getting the popsicles.
Okay. Well,
and I'm hungry.
Okay.
And we got to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole, in the gist, it's personal accountability and it's time management, and motivation's fucking garbage. If you don't have discipline and consistency,
good luck.
Get some.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because if you're just going off of motivation, you'll just
lose.
you'll lose every time. You'll do great for a week. And you'll be telling your friends how great you're doing, and you'll go do a fast and lose 3 pounds in a day, and then you'll gain it all back at the end of that week. And
you'll lose your
crash.
motivation.
Yeah. So
that's it. That's all we got for you. Till next time. I love you, Bodhi.
Love you, bud.
Next time. Do
Okay.
everything you do with faith over fear.
For now.
Over and out.